Hello everyone. Today I wanted to show off my new level editor mod for Baby Steps. So it's on Thunderstore and GitHub, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to set it up with Thunderstore and just show you around the mod. So you're gonna want to download the program R2 Modman. I'll put that in the description. But this is your mod manager. So it'll first open up like this, and you can type in baby steps, select, and you have a default profile, and you can just do select. So you go online, and you see baby blocks, the level editor mod, and you can just click download, download with dependencies, and it'll set everything up. So something I'm really proud of with this level editor mod too is that it's compatible with my multiplayer mod. So you can do collaborative editing, make much bigger maps, have a lot of fun, and edit stuff while your friend is currently playing. So I'll go ahead and install that too. So now we have everything we need installed, and we can just click Start Modded. And that's all you need to do to install it. That's why I usually recommend using Thunderstore because it's so much easier. And on your first startup, it'll take a little bit to launch while it's setting things up, but shouldn't take too long. Okay, so now that stuff is done setting up, you'll see you have two new buttons in the menu. You have multiplayer and you have custom levels. Right now we don't have any levels saved, but you can click this button and it'll open up your folder. So if you're downloading levels, like I'm gonna have on our Discord server, a place where you can share levels with other people, you just drop the file in here and then it'll show up in your list. But let's go in game real quick. And to open the editor, you press the grave or the tilde key, and it launches up, and there's a little lag spike as it's loading stuff in, but now we're in the editor. So you hold right click to drag the camera around, and W, A, S, and D to move the camera, and then Q and E to move up and down. So first off, you've got your library. You can go through and see every prop in the game. And then up here you've got your categories. So you can go to rocks and you see all the different rocks in the game. So let's pick a nice rock and you click and drag it out and there it is. So your currently selected prop is going to be highlighted and you'll have this little gizmo is what they're called, and you can click and drag the arrows and move it, and you can click this center circle and do a free drag, and you'll notice if you're dragging a new item in, it snaps to surfaces. If you want to get that back with an existing object, you can hold this free grab and then press shift. And when you're in this mode, you can press R to quickly rotate stuff. And this is most useful for your holds for rock climbing. So it's kind of messed up here, but if you press R, then you can get it and easily put it on a surface. But let's say I want a really big rock. So you can press space, or you can click this button, and then it'll switch to scale mode. And it's the same thing here. You can scale on specific axes, or you can uniformly scale it with this center, or you can do it on 2 axes at a time with these corner pieces. And you can do the same with these, and then press space 2 times again to get back to movement mode, and you can get it on the surface again while it's scaled up. And if you want to exit the editor, just press the grave or the tilde again, and then it immediately puts you back out. But if you're in here and you want to teleport your player or something, then you can press the R key or click this button, and you're in teleport mode now. And you just left click to teleport, and it'll move your player. And it's according to your camera's angle too, so you can be a bit more precise. And then R cycles between editor and free cam, but the tilde or grave immediately exits you out. Okay, so now that we've seen move and scale, we can see rotate too now. So as you might guess, rotation for the specific axes. And then in the center is a free rotate sphere. This is mostly nicer for rocks. It's not super precise, but it's fun to mess around with. And now you'll notice when I rotate something, the gizmo kind of moves with it. So it moves at an angle now. But if I want to place something on the world scale, then I can press the T key or click this button to go to global mode. And this will specifically move stuff only in the global axis. And you can press T to go back, and yeah. Now, if you want to do snapping, then you can press Y, and that just puts it in these positions. I honestly don't use this very much. Baby steps is more analog, I guess. You don't really need to do precise stuff like this. And like I showed, you can press it in here too and turn it off. Now we can go in our categories and you'll see history. So if you drag anything in the world, then it'll be added to this and put to the top. So that's just useful if you're doing a bunch of rock stuff or placing a bunch of trees and you want to have your favorites. And here you have your materials. And you can drag any material type in the game here. Let's say I want to make this really slippery, so I turn it into icy brick. And now if I go back down here, then this thing is going to be super slippery. And it just changes the appearance too. But if I don't want that anymore, then I can reset to default. So let's say I want to do something really complicated. I have a whole bunch of bricks, but I want to clone them so I can do multiple layers for like a castle wall or something. So I have 2, and by the way, you can copy and paste with Control-C and Control-V. I can place these how I want them, but I want to stick them together so I can easily move stuff. So I can hold Shift and click both, and now they're both selected. And I can right click, and it opens up this properties window. And I can click group, and they're grouped together. So if I just click them, then they're both selected and they're stuck together. And I can rotate it, and I can scale it, and it's really nice to use. Okay, and let me just show you more of this properties menu. So you can click and drag the values to adjust them easily, but you can also double click if you want to type in to adjust it, and then press enter to set it. And it's the same for your scale and your rotation. And let's do physics first. So right now it's in static mode. That just means that it won't move when you're playing in the regular game. But let's switch this to be a rigid body, which just means that it moves around. This is just regular Unity physics. It does that a lot. And with a lot of these material types, they're made to adjust to the world. So they do this kind of like flickering when they're dynamic. So I would suggest not using those materials for these types of rigid body use cases. But here, this is one that doesn't do that, so it looks better. Now, some other options we have. We've got our material override. So this just manually shows you all the materials in the game. This is more for if you want like a different material with a different surface type. So surface type here, that's like the different friction and the sound effects that it makes. So if I want to make this like sound like metal, but have this prototype looking material, then we can just leave it as that. And then tint, changes the tint of the object. Little secret, if you double click and type, you can go up to 500 and make stuff look a little bit brighter. Yeah. So another option, if we put this back to white, for our materials, you see we have this invisible one, and that's like the invisible glasses material. But this is actually a property that you can do for any material, which is sunglasses invisible. So let's say I want to make this gold, but I want to make it only visible if I have the sunglasses on. I can do that. And let's say I want to have this visible, but I don't want it to interact with anything. Let's just make this static for a second. We can do that too. Okay, and now back to rigid body. Let's say we have a can. There's also a search bar here. You can do that. We want to set up a can pile like the game has. So we get this peach can, put this here, right click, make it a rigid body, but turn on freeze until hit. If you're making a stack like this, the colliders for the cans aren't really cylinders, and they would be very unstable if they were constantly active. So when we have freeze until hit, it will stay in place, but if the player kicks them, then they move. So yeah, and the game has a native script like that too, so that's just how it's done. Let's delete this. And now let's go to probably my favorite feature in the game. You'll notice if you go to the different physics types, there's also grabbables and hats. So if I put it to grabbable mode, wow, look at this cool real-time preview. So you see this apple in the hand. You can drag these and adjust where the player picks it up from. And you can scale it like you normally would with an object. And now that it's a grabbable, you can grab it, you can pick it up. And you can do this for literally any prop. So if I wanted to do a rock or something, make this a bit smaller so it's just possible. And turn this into a grabbable. And then you have to adjust it so that like the top is where you grab it. Now I can pick it up. And it works for grouped objects too. So that's just a lot of fun for custom like rewards, for your challenges. And you'll see that there's also a hat mode. So I really like this apple hat. I think it's cute. And you have this hair slider. So it disables the hair that's underneath the hat. And it's just there so it doesn't like poke through for certain hats. And you can switch this so you can change where it's picked up from and how it looks on the head. Because you can raise it and change the rotation. And when it's in hat mode, you can turn on acts as sunglasses. So let's say I have this and it's sunglasses invisible. If I put this hat on, then I can see it after. Ain't that cool? And of course, all the other systems still work with it. So if I want a blue apple hat, a very blue apple hat, then I can do that. Look there. Okay, so the last things we have, base map on and off. You press this, the base map turns off. So this leaves just the sky and whatever props you have lying around in game. So if I make a platform for Nate, put him in there. Oh, that's the invisible one. Then here we are. And you can just fall forever if you want. So we can turn that back on whenever we want. And the other button is weather mode. So these are click only buttons. But you can swap to different weather presets. So make it rainy and moody. You can make it nice and clear. You can make it nighttime. And you can, of course, do these whether the map is on or off. And make these really cool moody scenes. And then once you've got a level set up, then you're able to go to File, Save and Load, and you'll see you have the same levels folder, but I can also do set the name, save it, and there we go. And in here we also have a clear setting, so if you just want a fresh start, then you can do that. And we can go to custom levels, and now we see our level. Click it, go back, and now it's all loaded in again. I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this level editor. This is my last big project before I leave for some personal business. And I really am excited to see what you guys have in store. Baby Steps is just a game that I really enjoy, so seeing more content made for it in an accessible way was something I've been wanting to do for a while. So thank you all for your support, and I hope this video helps. I'll also have a link to the Discord in the description, and you can share your levels, download levels from other people, and get any technical help if you need. See ya.